ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track. And ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
Da, 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 da.
You sound insane. You realize that?
Yeah.
The whole world gone crazy!
Seriously? Yeah.
It's showtime.
It is episode number 7 of our Bad Movie Marathon here on Mad About Movies.
I'm so broken.
Yeah, we're looking forward to tomorrow. You know, I guess it's always a new day after we do one of these. We get it all out there, you know. We leave no stone unturned when giving all of our thoughts on these bad movies. Thank you to everybody who has come along on this journey with us. The Howard the Duck episode last week, Richard, I want to say was probably our peak of at least ludicrous.
Yeah, it'll do that to you. The duck will get you, you know.
That corkscrew will get you every time.
the old corkscrew.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're down a man tonight. We've got Brian he's out with internet issues. He's got the old local Spectrum network is overloaded or something. So no Bride Guy tonight. So you and I can get real. You think the corkscrew was bad? Now you and I can get real filthy about Theodore's hog.
Yeah, about Tyrannosaurus getting it on with Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, it's
yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't in the first 3 minutes though. I mean, because
that's true.
If they wanted to stay true to the times, they would have totally just get that out of the way immediately.
You could see where we progressed in the 10 years between these two films because he wasn't looking at any kind of T-Rex penthouse or you know, T-Rex hustlers or anything. You know, they kind of eased the sexual tension in. Mm-hmm. But you know, when you have a star like George Newbern,
exactly,
you know, the son-in-law from Father of the Bride. I mean, you just gotta what a vehicle for him.
It's right. When you have a star, you find a vehicle for said star to shine, and his vehicle was anthropomorphic animatronic dinosaurs, and so
it's great. This movie's crazy because it's like, first off, I didn't know it existed. I missed this completely until we were doing an episode, and I was going through someone's filmography. I assume Whoopi's, or I was on a Bud Cort deep dive. And we were doing an episode, and I was like on my phone, and I was like, Theodore Rex, because I have read the Edmund Morris has a trilogy of Theodore Roosevelt biographies. The first of which is The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt, which is a long rumored Leonardo DiCaprio Scorsese joint, and the second one is Theodore Rex. And I was like, that's weird. Maybe it's a documentary or something. I don't know. So I clicked it, and I saw this poster and didn't know it existed. And then it looks like one of those movies on a show like 30 Rock or these sort of Hollywood parody type shows or movies that would, you know, have the fake movie posters
right
up, you know, like a movie star and a dinosaur.
Like the merman thing from Tropic Thunder.
Thunder. The Funny People has a bunch of those like fake Sandler comedies.
No, the merman was Funny People.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it kind of looks like that. And it's this wonderful thing of everything that was trending. You got Whoopi, you know, maybe not at her peak, but fresh off her peak. You have dinosaurs. Everything in the early to mid 90s was dinosaurs, and you have a buddy cop film. It's definitely a film that Studio Notes made, but I don't know. It seems to be this Jonathan Betul, who wrote and directed. He's in our tour, Kent.
Yeah. It's just purely artistic vision.
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't, but this is like something where old white dudes go, you know what's hot right now? Dinosaurs, buddy cop films, and Whoopi Goldberg. Make it work. It seems like it would be that, but maybe this was a vision long in the making. But we'll talk about that as we go, I'm sure.
Yes, and just to tease what's coming up here on Mad About Movies in the coming weeks.
Oh, jeez.
We still got the Bad Movie Marathon going, man.
I know,
as long
man.
as this...
It's worth dying in a movie theater, I think, for us to open these things. At first, I said, Oh no, I don't. You can't open movie theaters up. This is about because Texas reopened them last week, even though nothing's in the theaters, and it's like that seems like a bad idea. Now I'm in favor of it because if I die not having to watch these old bad movies, I died well.
Well, yeah, we talk about not going to the movies right now and not putting ourselves in harm's way.
Yeah,
aren't we putting ourselves in harm's way mentally by doing this for 12 weeks at a time? You know, I don't know how the shows that do bad movies all the time even do it. I can't fathom that. Doing it year round for 7 years, doing all bad movies. I guess if that's your thing, then that's your thing. But I have to see good movies every now and then. I can't or talk about them. You know,
totally because of the title of our show. Mad about movies. I think people sometimes have the misconception that we are one of those podcasts that just dumps on bad movies all the time. And instead it's because we, love Paul Reiser, as we know.
And Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
I love Helen Hunt. She was in a dream of mine the other night. It was very odd.
I'll ask about that later.
Yeah, it was.
I'll go ahead and make a note.
Go ahead and it was a very odd dream and maybe
is it Twister related?
No, in the VIP I'll maybe give the details. I think I've talked about that in the VIP. I've been having some insane dreams lately.
I've been casting a lot of things in my dreams.
This was a very weird dream that involved Sly Stallone and Helen Hunt. So it was. I don't know where that came in my mind's eye, but it was there in the dream. And
that's
vivid.
True Detective season 5, isn't it?
I would love that.
Are those two, yeah.
Could we make that happen? Can we start that petition now? Gosh.
Wow. Yeah. No, it's a beating doing this, and it makes me really we always say bad movies are easy to do shows on, and good movies are easy to do shows on. What's hard to do is like the movie that's a C+. I might amend that after doing like 9 F- in a row. I would kill for a C+ right now.
That's a good point. That would look like the like Casablanca, and we'll get to that later.
I guested on another podcast. Shout out to Ellen at the Love That Movie Pod. I know you've been on there as well. And I talked about Michael Clayton. And it was weird to watch a good movie and say positive things. I kind of hadn't scratched that muscle in some time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I talked about Fargo, which is my favorite movie, on her podcast. It's called Love That Movie. If you guys want to check out, I think all of us have been on there at this point. Brian,
yeah, I was the hammer. I batted clean up. No, I'm kidding. She definitely just wanted me last because the least interested in me. But it was fun. It's a good pod where people come on and talk about their favorite movie. It's a little different than ours.
Well, yeah, we need that. We got this going on right now, and just like I said, just to tease what's coming up. First of all, we're doing our Seinfeld retrospective over in the VIP, and that's been a really fun time. We have talked some positivity about Seinfeld.
True.
And that journey, and Brian is going through that binge for the first time from season 1 to season 9, all in a row. He's never done that. Richard and I have done that numerous times, and
I'm kind of always doing that.
Yeah. Every time I watch it, I kind of watch it in order. Depending on the season, I'll just hit play and let it roll or whatever. But yeah, man, Brian is doing that, and it's been really fun. But we got throwbacks in there as well. We got a Total Recall 1990 episode coming up in the VIP as well. We've got Braveheart on the way. We're doing a MacGruber commentary track that you can sync up with your MacGruber experience. That'll be coming to the VIP feed as well. And I think the main sell of the VIP now is the Discord, and being able to be in there and talk a lot with our VIPs and have that community of movie lovers there that are always, and I mean always, sharing stuff. I woke up at like 3 a.m. the other day, randomly, and I checked my phone, and there were people just talking in the Discord, just up late at night, nothing else to do, and find some like-minded people to share some movie thoughts with, people staying up late watching movies and laughing about them or crying about them in our case, and it's great, man. It's really fun. I love the Discord. Love talking music in there. We had a great chat the other day about our top 5 favorite bands with our VIPs, and that was a really fun conversation. We got a lot of good music taste happening in our VIP club, so that makes me feel great. And so, yeah, check it out over there and join us over there. And hopefully, if you're not already, you can become a subscriber over at madaboutmoviespodcast.com/VIP and get all that bonus content up for you. I think Brian, up to this point, has done daily recommends for almost every day of the quarantine. So there's 25 daily recommends episodes for you to catch up on if you're just now joining us. And those
Brian
are all
copes
great.
by podcasting. Yeah,
he does.
You did one of those. What did you do yours on?
I did mine on a documentary called Netflix
That's right,
versus
Netflix
the
versus the
World.
World,
And,
yeah.
and we had a great conversation about how Netflix started and kind of their impact on the movie business. And then we transitioned into a little Quibi talk. So if you want our thoughts on Quibi, check that out.
Is Quibi still around? Is that still functioning?
We had a bet going on what's going to be around longer, coronavirus or Quibi.
Oh, wow.
And I think we all said coronavirus. So
That's a great prop. I mean, you should be able to gamble on that. Like, actually, that's a great prop. Wow. Yeah, no, that's a good one.
All right. Well, check that out about moviespodcast.com/VIP. But on the main feed, we've got coming up, we got, of course, Theodore Rex, and then we've got After Earth, the M. Night Shyamalan masterpiece coming next week. And then Brian will definitely, if he's not already out permanently, he'll definitely be out after the week after that when we talk Gotti with John Travolta. Mm-hmm. We got Garbage Pail Kids movie.
He actually asked us a little inside track. We were going to do Battlefield Earth followed by Gotti.
Right. He said he needed the buffer week.
He was like, I need a few weeks between those.
Yeah.
Like, actually, for my mental health. Like, I can't do that. So,
He was serious, too.
Yeah, he was.
Like, no, really, I can't. So, yeah, prayers up for Brian. And, yeah, after that, hopefully we're out of this thing sooner rather than later. So we haven't permanently booked a lot of stuff, but just on the horizon after that, we've got Catwoman we need to get to.
Excited for that one.
We've got.
You ever seen that?
I've never seen that one, no.
I'm excited for your thoughts on that. That's going to be a real Kent. There's just a lot of things aesthetically wrong with it.
Okay,
that
I can't
think
wait.
You'll enjoy.
We've got maybe Dragon Ball Evolution, which is one of the biggest flops ever.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie, so get pumped for that. It's live-action anime.
I'm not okay
with all white people.
I'm not doing a bit here. Oh, good. So you know it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a bit. I'm not doing like a fake old guy thing. It's just I'm the dumb one. I'm admitting that because I missed it. I thought until this moment that Dragon Ball Z was a Pokemon. I thought that was a character.
Really?
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon, but just in the fact that it's anime, it's not really like that.
Not making fun of anyone.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
making fun of me.
It's like
I'm that
superhero,
stupid.
anime superhero kind of thing.
Cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's.
I'll be going in real cold on that one.
Yes.
I won't know what's up.
I haven't watched it since I was probably, I don't know, elementary school. So yeah, it's hopefully it's adapting the Dragon Ball that I was at least familiar with as a youth. And then after that, we're gonna have to get Megan Spell on the show to talk to us about Dungeons and Dragons, the movie from 2000, because I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons whatsoever.
Okay. Is Megan a D&D person?
She is, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm excited.
They did an episode on the VIP. That was her daily recommends, where they talked about Dungeons and Dragons.
Cool.
I have no frame of reference there other than
either.
that I know it's a game.
That's the one with like the 18th sided die, right? Or like some.
I think so.
Gosh, we
I think
sound
that's
so
a Weezer
old
song,
and
isn't
stupid.
it?
Yeah, I know that song. I think that's D&D, but we'll find out.
In the
You and
garage
I,
is the song.
we're cool guys. We're cool guys coming in.
And one of my least favorite movies, experiences at least, was Rollerball in 2002, and we'll get to that
Yeah.
one. That's a whopping, I think, 1% on the old RT. 3%. Wow.
I think there's also a made-for-TV movie with Dean Cain that's also Rollerball from like 1999.
Oh, really?
Plus the original. So, if you really want to dive in,
Oh, I do. I do.
Yeah, I know.
I really want to dive in.
Because I know you've seen most of Dean Cain's work.
I did. I'm a Dean Cain completist. I can't believe I missed that one.
Yeah.
I do.
Have you ever heard there's a really funny John Mulaney bit about Dean Cain. Have you ever seen that? He's talking about Law and Order, and he talks about they have a murder lineup in a Law and Order, and one of the dudes is Dean Cain, who's clearly going to be the killer because they have an actor that you recognize as the person. And John Mulaney goes, I always thought it'd be funny if the woman in the looking at the lineup was like, okay, no, I don't. Wait, is that Dean Cain? Like he's just playing himself. And the Law and Order lineup always made me laugh.
All right. Well, I'll have to check that out. Like I said, I got a lot of Dean Cain stuff to get to that I wasn't aware about. Oh, also Godzilla 1998 is going to be on the horizon probably. And I'm pushing for you guys, just because I want to talk about the experience. I'm pushing to do Green Lantern at some point. So if this thing goes into July, we might have to see Green Lantern episode come to fruition here.
That was a tough one for me and Brian. Brian and I saw that one together. We've told that story before, but that's a tough Richard rewatch. That'll be hard on the soul.
Yeah, exactly. I have not seen that one in its entirety too, so that'll be quite an experience, I'm sure. But man, what an experience Theodore Rex was. And you mentioned the book Theodore Rex, the Teddy Roosevelt biography. How much do you want to bet? And in fact, I'm willing to bet Jonathan R. Butel just saw that book title and was like, Theodore Rex, what the crap is... And then looked at it and was like, oh, it's a Theodore Roosevelt thing. He's like, but what if there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex named Theodore? Wait, I think I got something here. And then
Let's see. No, he did. That didn't happen because the book came out in 2001.
Oh,
Darn
man.
it. The first one came out, but I think that, yeah, unfortunately.
That's
Maybe
what I was convinced.
But okay. Or he traveled, he was living in 2003, traveled back in time after seeing the book thing to make it in the mid-90s. You don't know. You can't prove I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's true. He maybe time traveled, and I mean, maybe he lives in a futuristic society, just like Theodore Rex does.
He has no Wikipedia, which is weird. Like, you know what I mean? He's
he's erased. I think he erased himself from the zeitgeist after this.
He might be a looper or something because I mean, to direct a Whoopi Goldberg movie, Whoopi Goldberg is another
It's a Star Wars character.
Yes,
yeah.
Star Wars. That should be.
That's Chewie's mom.
But I didn't know Chewie was a member of the tribe. That's great. But I think that to direct a Whoopi Goldberg movie in the 90s and not have a Wikipedia is that's great work.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny because there's like no Wikipedia for this movie either. There's like a small, like 1-sentence plot write-up on it, and there's no information on this movie. I think like one of the things I did find was that everybody that worked on the movie started out working on it, and they said by the end of filming that 99% of the crew had turned over. Everybody quit like midway through, and they kept having to refill the spaces there. But I'm excited to talk about Theodore Rex with you, and what we can do is get into a little bit of spoiler talk here with it and all that. So stay tuned for that. But before we do that, I want to tell you about a great company called Keeps that has helped me keep my hair and can help you keep your hair too. The older we get, the more hair we lose. It's just the fact of life. No one gains more hair the older they get. And there are different ways to combat that hair loss. And there are some awkward ways to combat that hair loss as well. But the least awkward way that I have found, and trust me, I have looked everywhere, is our friends over at Keeps. 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they're 35. So in the case of our podcast, 2 out of the 3 of us will eventually have some problems with this. But there is some good news. Keeps has proven treatments that can combat the symptoms of hair loss and keep the hair on your head at half the cost of your local pharmacy. You don't have to go broke to avoid going bald. Prevention is key. Keeps has revolutionized the way men are treated for hair loss. Thanks to Keeps, you don't have to go to a doctor's office for your hair loss prescription. Now you can just visit a doctor online. Get your hair loss medication delivered to your home discreetly. No more waiting rooms, no more pharmacy checkout lines. Keeps has you covered. So, trust me, I have done it all. I've gone to doctors, I've done surgeries, I've done prescriptions, and honestly, I wish I had known about Keeps before going through all that stuff, because Keeps has better results, it's cheaper, and you don't have to be embarrassed by talking to a bunch of physicians, you don't have to drive anywhere. That's one hell of a deal, if you ask me, for getting to keep your hair. So, Keeps are offering our listeners here at Mad About Movies a special deal. If they want to keep their hair, they can take action at keeps.com/mad. You receive your first month of treatment for free. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com/mad. Receive that first month free of hair loss treatment. It's Keeps, KEEPS.com/mad. Keep your hair, guys. Keep it with Keeps. So, Richard, let's get right into Theodore Rex. And without further ado, we stalled as long as we possibly can. Man, what was your first? You said you did not know this movie existed until this.
Yeah, and I would say I have a pretty strong memory for like 90s culture. I'm not like a jerk about it, but I have a pretty good idea of the zeitgeist from pretty much everything post 1994 and until today. You know, I'm pretty aware of things, and I'd either push this out of my brain or never somehow seen anything related to it. But yeah, I did not know this movie existed until about 3 months ago. And again, I clicked it, you know, I saw that on a filmography. I was like, what is this? And yeah, weird movie. Wild stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me. The only thing that could maybe make sense to me about this is thinking that, I mean, this is post Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. It's all notes. I mean, it's
sense to me that, I mean, it doesn't make sense because, like, didn't they set the bar so high on dinosaur content with Jurassic Park that anything after that is just going to be a joke? You know, if this came out, and let's say when Howard the Duck came out in 1986, that this would be a little more acceptable because it's like, oh yeah, well, we knew people like dinosaurs, but we didn't really have the technology to do them right, and there was no real way to do it, and, you know, this is the best kind of we can muster at the time. It's like, okay, that makes sense, but I guess they look at the success of the 1990s hit sitcom Dinosaur and just say, what if we just took that technology and threw it into a buddy cop movie starring Whoopi Goldberg? Because we've talked about this before, I think, but I want to remind you and the listener, Dinosaurs, the 1990s hit sitcom. Hit, keyword.
Huge hit. 4
seasons of dinosaurs.
Great finale, too.
They just die.
Yeah, they see the Ice Age coming. Yeah. It's good times. Yeah, there's a whole slash film oral history on this. This had a $35 million budget, which I assume, you know, Whoopi got a pretty big check for this. She
got $7 million.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so really a $25 million budget. That's still $24 million too high. But you know, you got George Newbern again, fresh between Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride Part 2. So I mean, that's probably an $11 to $13 million check.
Well, what actually happened there with Whoopi Goldberg is funny. Is she actually verbally agreed to do the movie in 1992. And I think Jurassic Park came out after that, 93. And so she, of course, backed out of this, didn't want to do it. But the director and producers held her to that verbal agreement and sued her for $20 million for backing out. And so she had no choice but to do it or pay $20 million.
Her attitude as the character shows that, I would say.
Coltrane. Do you know her name's Coltrane in the movie too? They don't ever say that in the movie.
They never say it.
They never say it like directly to her.
It always made me
5 minutes.
It made me think of in Royal Tenenbaums where Gene Hackman racistly calls Danny Glover's character Coltrane. He's like, "You just call me Coltrane."
Yeah, that is kind of a racist. I mean, there's racial undertones to this entire film. We can get to that, but I feel like they're trying to say so much with this movie.
Yeah. And they're coming off that sort of, you know, they're hyping up. There was the cross-racial action things of like Lethal Weapon. And then it's like, well, let's do it cross-racial and kind of do the same.
Lethal Weapon with a Tyrannosaurus Rex and Whoopi.
Yeah, it's really weird.
In the future.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, it's absurd to think that a dinosaur could be a buddy cop in 1995, Kent. I mean, obviously.
Right.
But who knows? 31 years later, you know, with technology, we could have a whole fleet of dinosaur cops.
And not only are they dinosaur cops, Richard, but they're dinosaur cops that are the size of humans, too. Mm-hmm. Like, this isn't a normal size Tyrannosaurus. This is It's comparable to the height of Whoopi Goldberg.
They call those toy T-Rexes.
Yeah, they miniaturized them with some inbreeding and got him down to that size. But he's fully
gruesome practice.
He's hit puberty too. He's fully past puberty. It's not like it's a kid. You know, it's he's some practice.
He's Yeah, no, he's topping out there. He's like 6'2".
Yeah.
Which, in the future could be the average height of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You don't know.
We don't know. I've seen that they're working on that, on bringing dinosaurs back still.
Because they're not scary if they're your size. That's the thing. It's the size that make the dinosaurs scary.
What's amazing, though, if you were to purchase one, it's only like $1.2 million.
Exactly.
For a T-Rex, according to Jurassic World.
Cliff Kingsbury's house in Scottsdale is 6 brontosauruses. If you're looking for the exchange rate.
Right. Exactly. So T-Rex, Theodore Rex, has his own apartment. Yeah. He's got a dog, which for some reason doesn't eat the dog.
Well,
it's a very carnivorous animal to have a pet like that.
T-Rex's best friend. You know what they say in the future. You don't know they don't say that. So.
T-Rex is his best friend. That's what they say. And our first introduction to Whoopi Goldberg is she sees crime going down and she zip lines into the crime scene. She's wearing like a...
Thank God that zip line was there.
It was, yeah. It was like a Batman, basically like a batarang zip line kind of thing going on. And that's like one of the main weapons of law enforcement in the future. Everybody just batarangs and zip lines places. It's more efficient. I don't know how, but they figured that out by the future.
Oh, yeah. I got pulled over for an expired tag a couple weeks ago, and the guy just shot a batarang into my car and then just zip-lined up to me and asked for my license registration. And I was like, dude, you damaged my bumper. And he said that's just how they travel.
I know. He goes to like this, I guess it's like a gala for police officers, and he runs into a human guy who's like, Teddy, is that you? It's like, dude, how many anthropomorphic T-Rexes do you know? It's
Dude,
not Teddy.
A lot. Yeah, I know. Well, there's Larry, and there's a bunch of them. It's they're mostly in the Midwest, but they've worked their way. Yeah, it's I love that this movie is described as science fiction.
I saw that. Yeah,
that made me laugh for a good 2.5 minutes. The legacy of Isaac Asimov is complete.
Based on the Philip K. Dick bestseller. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible. One of the funnier things about this is the fact that he wears triple-toed Chuck Taylors.
I know. This is when Converse died. We were watching the Jordan documentary last night, and you see that they kind of whiff on MJ. And, they let Nike basically build a super brand off of one athlete. And that was the first nail in the coffin. But the second one was allowing the Chucks from Converse to be the official shoe of Teddy Rex.
Exactly. And triple Converse. Well, so he basically had to buy... I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 3 pairs of Converse for one.
Yep.
For one person. So, I mean, it was very expensive for him to dress this way, but he was a cool, hip Tyrannosaurus Rex. He wasn't your average T-Rex.
Yeah, no, he's the fun one. He likes to party. He's no Molly Rex or Oliver Rex. This is Theodore Rex.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, the movie kicks off with a case where Theodore Rex, he works in PR, by the way, for the, most dinosaurs, they're either human resources or PR. And he's PR.
Yeah.
PR T-Rex.
They do have a great HR and PR school at Dinosaur Tech in the future. You don't know they don't. You can't prove they don't.
It's all online too, Dinosaur Tech. Mm-hmm. It's the Phoenix University of the futuristic alternate.
Hey, it's University of Phoenix, Kent. Show some respect.
Sorry.
I'm a Phoenix
University of Phoenix. It's the Grand Canyon University of... It's an online college with a Christian slant. So it's weird for a dinosaur to go to like a Christian college because I don't know how that contradicts, but
yeah. Yep.
I think it'd be very science-based, but hey. I'm not going to complain about it.
Sure.
So yeah, the call to arms, if you will, get it with the T-Rex arms. The call to arms, if you will,
I like it,
is a dinosaur has committed dinocide. Mm-hmm. Because we call it humancide when humans kill each other or kill themselves.
Yeah, we have to make that clear.
They could not. In fact, what's funny about this movie, and this is the opposite of Howard the Duck, which is just totally all in on, okay, this is a movie about a walking, talking duck. This movie takes itself so seriously.
I know.
That it's almost incredible. That like, no, they're going for like they're going for a less comedic Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. No, and the sci-fi part is real. They are trying to make this, like they're trying to kind of figure out what the future would be like and what terms we would use and the legalities around, well, you can't call it homicide because it's not a hominid creature. So thus it has to be, all that stuff. Like Jonathan, whatever his name is, writing this is just high-fiving himself constantly. Oh, he never worked again, by the way. This is the last thing he ever did.
Oh, of course. It had to be. This was, by the way, the highest budget for a direct-to-DVD movie or direct-to-video movie. And it was actually supposed to be in theaters, but it tested so bad that they had no choice but to put it on VHS or whatever it was at the time. And they were
I think their best interest would be just to not have released it, just to eat it.
Maybe they paid,
or to like burn the.
I think they were
burn
just
the reels in a fire and try to get some insurance money.
What I think they were hoping what happened was that nobody would see it. Like they would put it out, and like some kids would see it and would never remember it. But yeah, this thing, they said they just put it out as a family movie, and they threw it at the video store, and they're like, okay, some dumb kid's gonna walk by and be like, oh, a Tyrannosaurus Rex, that looks cool, I'm gonna rent that, and they did, and they all remember, and here we are. So
it was released internationally in theaters, which is why I think a lot of people blame kind of our interventionist military policy. Or the way, the constant like berating that we tell other countries that we're the greatest country in the world. But I think other countries hate us because we force them to go see this in the theaters.
This was when America needed to become great again. If they say was Theodore Rex, and this is exports that we put out there into the world. And it's so funny that the cop's like, Theodore Rex wants to be a cop. We've been looking to have our first Dino cop.
Mm-hmm. He's the Jackie Robinson of that.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from him.
He is. Why do they need a Dino cop? I don't... Are the humans that bad at copying that they need to, like, maybe Tyrannosaurus Rex could do a better job.
Well, they had made
they have limited movement and, have to turn their head completely around to see everything, but maybe... And they can't fit in normal cop cars. There's a whole list of things why not to have a Dino cop. But this was, I guess they wanted to be the groundbreakers.
Well, they had a new zip line that could support a dinosaur.
Oh, they did.
They had to try it out, yeah.
They did. They did. And then one of the other cops is like, oh, no, that's a horrible idea. And then the original guy's like, what are you, a speciesist?
Yeah.
So it's
that's just called
racist,
political. That's social commentary.
Racist.
Yeah, that's social commentary, Kent.
It is.
Sorry you weren't woke enough at the time to handle the future.
You know what this movie is? And I'm not joking. It might be better than this movie. You remember Bright? Richard?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It is Bright. This is Bright.
I thought the same
Buddy
thing.
cop, and it's like two
this
different
is better.
species. This is way better because it's ridiculous. Bright is trying to be fairy lives matter, like all that stuff. It is so in your face. And it's trying to be so deep, and it's just terrible. This is at least trying to be deep, but I think there's some surface level humor of this ridiculous nature of what's going on.
And just they didn't have the technology at the time to make it not absurd. So it's hilarious. Every frame that the dinosaur is in is inherently hilarious, which Bright unfortunately doesn't have. Just kind of some upsetting CGI.
We go now then to the Extinct Species Club, which...
I was in that in high school. What about you?
I was. We only talk. I was a big dodo bird fan back in the day.
You were.
Yeah. All my life was dodos from.
And we hated those endangered kids. Yeah. Those endangered club kids, they were the worst.
They were.
We were full,
we're full extinct.
Full extinct. We battled
It's extinct or nothing. Yeah, endangered, get that crap out of here. I don't care if there's 400 tigers and left in society.
It was like the Jets and the Sharks, man. Ironically, the Sharks are endangered. But
let me just say, Richard, the 4-week presentation you gave on the California condor, it moved me.
Thank you.
I'm still affected, but to this day by it.
Thank you. It was the best I could do. One time I was in quick tangent. I was in Las Vegas for a buddy's bachelor party, and I was playing blackjack very late into the evening with his brother. And we're sitting there at a table. So it's two of us, and the other 3 seats are kind of rotating in and out. We're doing well enough to sit there for a few hours. And anyway, we just started telling Andy, the older brother, just started telling people, they were like, hey, what are you guys in town for? And Andy would just say that the Conference of the Americas. And then they would ask, it was a very Kent bit. And then they would ask, oh, what's that? He's like, well, he would point at me. He's like, he's presenting on South America for a few hours, and then I present on North America. It's the Conference of the Americas. And they're like, oh, it's really interesting. And that was, we kept that going for like 7 hours at my chat table.
So no one's doing Central America? It's like, no, just don't bring it up. Don't
exactly.
even come.
Literally, that was an actual, like, we had it going all night. It was super funny.
That's great.
So we still, like, our group text is still Conference of the Americas 2015 or whatever.
So the Extinct Species Club in the movie is a dance club for extinct species, but it's called that, but none of them are extinct.
Right, I know. I wonder
because they're still around.
It should be the formerly extinct.
Yeah, formerly extinct club. There you go. That's more accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. You should celebrate that. I mean, that's a big comeback story. If you can go from being extinct to no longer being extinct, I'm all down for a dance party, but at least get your nomenclature right.
I think. But it says this is an alternate futuristic society. So
True.
this makes me think it's like dinosaurs never were extinct. They coexisted with humans all along.
It's the multiverse theory. You're right. This is sci-fi.
Why is it the Extinct Species Club if they were never extinct to begin with?
Wow. Okay. I gotta watch.
A lot
this
of contradictions
again.
happening in Theodore Rex. That my mind.
I gotta drop mushrooms and watch this thing.
I'm taking this way too seriously. I fully realize, but I gotta doing my due diligence here. Got to do all I can. He drives, actually, before that, it's a Extinct Species Club is a dino burlesque club, and he watches little dino burlesque like you do, when you're post-pubescent T-Rex. You got to get your burlesque on every now and then. What was with the 90s and burlesque / stripper shows? I guess there was no internet back then, so... Yeah, I don't know.
It's either cabaret.
You get a duck. You get a little topless duck Playboy, or maybe something like that. But there's a lot of burlesque moments in '90s movies
especially a sci-fi family film.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, but still not enough. My favorite little tidbit from this is the guy that plays the Elizar or whatever his name was, Armin Mueller-Stahl, the German guy. He went from this, walked off the set, and went right into the Oscar-nominated Shine.
Nice.
The Jeffrey Rush movie about the piano player.
I think Whoopi went straight from this to Eddie.
Man, that's a run.
What a run. Theodore Rex drives one of those frog duck car things that is a car / boat. For whatever reason, I guess if you're in PR, you have to drive people around in an amphibious vehicle. I couldn't get that reference, or maybe that's a shout out to Howard the Duck in some way. But have you ever ridden on one of those amphibious things? Neither have I.
Yeah, I haven't. Would love to.
Always
one of my dreams.
Always, bucket list. Gotta ride on one of those duck cars, but never's made it happen. Oh man, we got another very deep satire here. Really, is the word I'm looking for. Of, quote, you cannot judge a dino by its skin, unquote.
You can't. Do
you think there's any parallels there to modern society, or is that just strictly...
So many. Do they have skin, though, technically? Or shouldn't it have been you can't judge a dinosaur by its scales or something? Does that still count as skin?
That's true.
Are
they scales? Do dinos have scales? I think they have skin.
Okay.
They have rough, leathery skin like a lizard, not like an iguana. Iguanas have scales, but there's some lizards that, like a frog, doesn't have scales. It's got skin. It's amphibious. Maybe that's why they have the frog thing.
The frog card.
It's all mind, dude.
Yeah, you're full Russell Crowe in the math movie right now in the window. You're putting the whole.
That's a good comparison. I am a beautiful mind. I'm beautiful minded right now.
Get his beautiful minding right now so hard.
so yeah, and also they call the human soft skins too. So they're pretty speciest in this movie too. The dinos for calling us. You don't judge us by our skin. Come on. It's very deep.
It is.
I'd rather be
It's
a rough
rich.
skin.
Yeah, you've always said that.
Yeah. Another glorious moment, and this is another 90s cliche. Roller hockey. Big roller hockey sequence in Theodore Rex. It was peaking in 95, so you had to work that into the plot somehow.
Yeah, and that was again, this is like some coked up studio executive that was like, all right. Again, the weird part is that this came from a single vision, but it's more believable. He's like, okay, dinosaurs, buddy cops, rollerblading,
Amphibious vehicles.
the future. Let's make it.
Truck trailers.
Yeah, it's Johnny Depp all of a sudden. All of a sudden, it's Johnny Depp. Duffy.
Duffy, give me my scarf. Bring me my scarf.
But yeah, it's like everything from. I'm surprised that like it didn't include the Bulls or like Wayne Gretzky.
There's no Pog tournament sequence in this.
That's all it's missing.
Get a little Macarena dance going, and I think that was post this. But anyway, it's gosh, so 90s. There's like graffiti all over the walls and stuff, and these cool kids are playing a little street hockey and the rollerblades. It's a great moment. We got this spy character, like Spy with One Eye is what I call him. That's the most over-the-top, ridiculous villainy character maybe I've ever seen in a movie. He is insane. I would try to do the voice here, but I don't want you to have to mute me or turn this off permanently because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, he's really bringing it.
Yeah, he's taking it very seriously, and I wonder what kind of direction he got from Jonathan Butel to... He's like, you're not quite getting it. It's more crazy. It's more ridiculous. Okay, you're still not getting it. You got to go even crazier. You know, it's just so
bigger,
insane.
Steven.
Yes.
Bigger.
Bigger, louder, more arm movement.
He's got a megaphone on. Come on, Steven, bring it. He directs like it's a huge. 33 million, you can get a megaphone.
Then we have a character who's using butterfly bombs. Mm-hmm. It's like a butterfly Chinese star or something. And he's just
trying to create that new Ice Age, yeah.
He's like a samurai weapon maker guy. No, we don't find out about the Ice Age guy until literally 10 minutes left in the movie.
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't reveal, they don't reveal why they're actually chasing this guy until 10 minutes left. And he's like, I'm going to create a new Ice Age. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Yeah, it's our second Ice Age. Maybe we should do Ice Age on this. Just to create the trilogy.
That's too good. It's too good for this.
Are the sequels all good? I've never seen an Ice Age. Is there a bad? I know there's like 9 of them. So is one of them bad?
And I saw the one that was in 3D. I can't remember what that was called. I think that's the third one. But I have no idea if any of them are good besides, I don't even remember the third one. It was like 2008 maybe it came out or something. I don't remember. Anyway, it's very funny how over the top these villains are. And there's like 4 of them in the movie, so you never really know who they're chasing. And like I said, they don't reveal the plan until 10 minutes left, and then Theodore Rex just does like one thing and ends the plan, and the movie's over. It's like it's such a build-up for no particular reason whatsoever. There's a moment where Whoopi thinks Theodore farted, and he goes, "No, I didn't blow my butt trumpet."
You don't say that? Dude. You don't say come on, dude.
I call it butt trumpet.
I've always heard you talk about it.
I honk the butt
you call
trumpet
yourself,
a lot.
You call yourself Miles Davis of the butt trumpet. I've heard you say that.
Yeah. There's a moment where Theodore is trying to get into like the secure area, and he keeps trying to press in this passcode, and it's like access denied. Access denied.
Straight.
And then he hits it with his tail, and it blows up, like it starts smoking, and then it goes, ouch. Like it has a literal
it feels
sense of feelings. And
yeah, duh. It's the future, dude.
At least it doesn't say
you don't know that it does
allowed, like in Batman and Robin. Access allowed. There's some insane stunts in this, like some ridiculous, like stunts that, would have taken them weeks to do. Mm-hmm. And it just cracks me up. No wonder so many people quit. There had to have been a whole team of people like controlling the eyelashes of the dinosaur and making it say all these words accurately and stuff. It's just so ridiculous. I would love to meet somebody who worked on this movie and just grill them on what a ridiculous set that it was. In fact, we probably should have done that for this episode. See if Jonathan Butel would have come on and let us know how it was, because, oh my gosh, what an insane movie. It makes no sense other than, you're right, other than the fact that they looked at a Venn diagram of, like, Netflix made House of Cards. Like, people love Fincher and they love Kevin Spacey and they love British drama House of Cards. So let's just do that. I had to have done that with 1990. People love Jurassic Park, and Whoopi's peaking right now, and Lethal Weapon is the number one selling thing on iBlockbuster. So let's combine them. Yeah, what's fun, even funnier to me, is that this movie actually sold. That Jonathan Butel actually made this and then was able to take this concept and idea to a studio and say, okay, here's what I got here, and hear me out here. Anthropomorphic, futuristic society where dinosaurs never were extinct, but now they're cops.
I think, but he hit enough keywords, like we're talking about, where the executives are like, I'm titillated. I mean, think about it, dude. This could be Mighty Ducks meets Jurassic Park meets Lethal Weapon. And they're like, make it. He's asking for $60 million. I think we can get him for 35. Let's make this movie. It's great. We should do that now. We should do we should Mad Libs a bunch of 2020 stuff and see if we can sneak 30 million out of Hulu or something. Oh
gosh, we should be doing that already. Why not?
Yeah. Who cares?
Okay, we got Cara Delevingne.
Yeah.
In a coronavirus drama
it's
directed by Ava DuVernay. Okay. Sign me up.
And then we make it for like $800,000 and we just pocket the rest of the money.
I think you're onto something there.
Okay.
I'll call you after this episode.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, the last real note I want to hit on with Theodore Rex, besides the fact that the movie exists, and I could go on just about how ridiculous that is the last line in the movie is they finally become police partners, which I guess they weren't up to the end of the movie, even though we don't solving crimes together.
We don't know the bureaucracy of the future. You might need to be more official to be official partners. Who knows?
He says to her, he being Theodore, says to Whoopi, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Which, you might know, is the iconic line from Casablanca.
Yeah, that is.
Richard, I'll end with this. Theodore Rex is definitely, without question.
I know where you're going. I agree. Go ahead.
100%. No one can take this away from Theodore Rex. It is the Casablanca of family, sci-fi, anthropomorphic, dinosaur buddy cop movies set in the future. There's no one can take that
with
away
Whoopi Goldberg in them. Yeah, it is. It is the Casablanca.
That caveat, that's more accurate because there are multiple. Just not all of them have Whoopi.
But you can't take it away from it, and that I think will be its legacy. It is the best of that genre.
Exactly. There's no one can take that away from it. That's going to be my review on Rotten Tomatoes. Fresh. It's the Casablanca of it.
Done.
Well, it's time to grade this thing out, man. I think this is certainly not the worst movie we've done. Surprisingly. It's not. It's not bad. It's just...
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad. But the idea is so ridiculous is what makes it bad. It's like...
Oh, yeah.
The script is dumb, but it's not like Battlefield Earth or Batman and Robin where...
And Whoopi's the best actor we've seen in a while.
This movie never would have worked on any level. It's not like a Batman and Robin or Battlefield Earth or even Jack and Jill where it's like, okay, maybe with a great script and director, like there's something there that could...
And again, it's better than Bright.
And better than Bright, yeah.
So I'm going to give it a straight up F, just an F, because Bright's an F minus. And so just on that logic, it's an F.
I'll give it an F minus minus. It doesn't get the 3 minuses.
Okay.
Because this, of the movies we've done so far, Richard, Air Bud, Jack and Jill, Batman and Robin, Battlefield Earth, Howard the Duck, Theodore Rex. What is your favorite to... If you're going to rank those in terms of like I have to watch one again.
I'd probably go Air Bud or this would be tops.
Yeah. Air Bud's by far the best one we've done. That's about a golden retriever who plays basketball. So
Jack and Jill is, I don't know. Howard the Duck, Jack and Jill, and Battlefield Earth are a tough low 3. I would say Batman and Robin is probably a step up from those 3, so that might be next on the list. And then and I think Jack and Jill was the most offensively bad. Like this is the worst of the worst. But yeah. So my top 3 films that we've done in the last 2 months would be Air Bud, Theodore Rex, and Batman and Robin. Screw you, guy who ate a bat.
By the way, I should have said this at the outset. Theodore Rex is on YouTube. And I will put the link in the show notes description
there you go.
if you want to watch it for yourself.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That way we can start for free working on our reboot.
Exactly.
Because I still think this has some legs. I think we can cater the concept. I think we go grittier. I think we make it kind of like The Wire type crime world with a dinosaur as like a drug trafficking cop, and kind of lean into the zeitgeist a little more. And maybe we do some like Black Lives Matter versus Blue Lives Matters versus Dino Lives Matter stuff. We make it a little more socially responsible. And I think we have a masterpiece on our hands. That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. This is like I said, and I'll end with this. It's the Casablanca of family-themed, anthropomorphic, dinosaur, sci-fi movies starring Whoopi Goldberg set in the future.
Yeah.
It's the Casablanca.
It's definitely the third best George Newbern film, behind obviously The Two Fathers of the Brides and those Sprint commercials.
100%. 100%. Plot keywords for this, according to IMDb, plot keywords: nightmare, exploding car, genocide, child kidnapping, and buddy cop. So
that's got to bring up some weird searches. People,
searching some of that. If you're going to be Casey Anthony or whatever, you can. But other words. All right. Well, let's end on a high note there.
There you go.
Theodore Rex. Next week we're coming back strong with After Earth. And I'm excited for that because this is like, I don't know how many, six years in the making, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm bailing.
I'm not. You're gonna just get on. And it's gonna be you. It's gonna be your payback.
No chance. No chance. But I'm excited because there's a lot to go over there, just about the making of the movie, let alone the movie itself, that is worth your time for sure.
Yep.
So come back for that. Enjoy the VIP episodes that we've got coming out this week. Total Recall again, and we had our AMA last week, so you can still get on that. It's really fun. And sign up for the Discord. It's really fun to converse with all you guys, and I'm going to do that right after we sign off here. So I'm excited about that. But Richard, if I were to find you on the interwebs, where could I do that?
You can find me at Richard Barden, Bardon, on all the different social and in the Discord channel and on the madaboutmoviespodcast.com website. Kent, I'm looking for you, man. Where can I find you?
On the internet at Kent Garrison on all social media platforms. And subscribe on the iTunes, on the Overcast, on the Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. Leave us 5 stars. If you enjoyed this episode at all, if it made you smile, laugh, helped you get through this time, we really appreciate positive reviews, and we try to shout out a lot of those on the show. So there's a chance you could hear your name on a future episode if you do that for us, and we really appreciate it. But yeah, reach out on social media at Mad About Movies, or send us an email if you like as well. We'd love to keep in touch. But until next time, hopefully we'll see you soon at the cinema.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling, tossed salads and scrambled eggs. And maybe I seem a bit confused. Yeah, maybe, but I got you pegged. But I don't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. Scrambled eggs all over my face.
They're making me yah-yah, your salads and scrambled eggs.
They're calling again.